I've reviewed the facts of this case, and I have determined that the deadly physical force used by the officers against the shooter was justified. I would like to provide the following details pertaining to the investigation. At 10:38 a.m., Douglas County Emergency Communications received the first 911 call that there was an active shooter at UCC. From witness statements and 911 calls, moments before, the shooter had entered the classroom and began shooting students. Detective Sergeant Joe Caney and Detective Todd Spingath from the Roseburg Police Department heard the dispatch call and responded from approximately 5 miles away. 2 troopers from the Oregon State Police Office in Roseburg also responded, and all 4 officers arrived on the campus at approximately 10:44 a.m. Upon arrival, the police officers heard a volley of shots. The police officers witnessed the shooter in the doorway of Snyder Hall. Sergeant Caney and Detective Spingath were in plain clothes. They were not wearing bulletproof vests as they got out of their vehicle. The police officers ran toward the sound of gunfire and attempted to gain a better vantage point on the shooter. Sergeant Caney and Detective Spingath knew that there were at least 35 students in one of the classrooms, and they knew that if they shot, they risked the chance of shooting innocent people. Sergeant Caney and Detective Spingath saw the shooter in the doorway of Snyder Hall. They saw it in the entrance of Snyder Hall, and they witnessed muzzle flash. The shooter shot several rounds at Detective Caney and Detective Spingath. Seconds later, both Sergeant Caney and Detective Spingath felt they had a good target. They fired a total of 3 rounds at the shooter. 2 rounds went into the entrance hall, at the entrance wall of Snyder Hall, near where the shooter was standing, and 1 round struck the shooter in the right side. Once the shooter was wounded, he entered the classroom again. He went to the front of the classroom, and he shot and killed himself. I want everyone to know of the selfless acts of these officers that they made in responding to this scene. They had little regard for their own personal safety, and they saved many, many lives that day with their heroic acts. Sergeant Caney and Detective Spingath used their training and discipline to determine the best time to take a shot at the shooter, and once the suspect engaged the police officers, he did not shoot another student. These men saved lives that day.